We're jumping straight into Lucid Group today. Everyone is watching the price action. But the real story is the massive billion-dollar lifeline and the pivot to a global robo-taxi fleet.
Exactly. You're tuned into the Easy Money Show, where we make sense of the market's biggest moves. I'm glad you're with us.
Yeah, and before we really get into it, make sure you subscribe and hit the like button. Consider it a quick subscribe and simplify moment for you.
All right.
Because we really want to help you break down this massively complex, high-stakes situation.
It is definitely high stakes right now.
I mean, we just have to contextualize the current environment around this stock, right? It recently hit an all-time low.
Yeah, a brutal one.
Exactly, scraping the bottom somewhere between $6.32 and $6.75 a share.
Which, terrifying for a lot of people holding the stock.
Oh, totally. When a high-growth electric vehicle company drops like that, the immediate reaction is just panic. People think it's a falling knife headed straight for bankruptcy.
Yeah, that's the retail reaction.
But if you look under the surface, we are seeing these sudden intraday surges of around 11%, which tells you something massive is brewing.
Yeah, and to really understand those wild price swings, you kind of have to look past the retail panic.
Right.
You need to see where the whale money is flowing. The institutional moats being built here are just massive.
Yeah, so let's break down that whale accumulation. Because Uber has officially taken an 11.52% ownership stake in the company.
Which is huge.
It is. It's a $500 million total investment. But honestly, the cash is just part of it. The real kicker is they are committing to at least 35,000 dedicated robo-taxi vehicles.
And that right there, that is the game changer.
How so?
Well, to simplify it, this isn't just a cash injection. It is a locked-in fleet partnership.
Right. The cars actually have somewhere to go.
Exactly. It provides this massive baseline demand floor that most traditional auto startups can literally only dream of. You don't have to fight for 35,000 individual customers.
You just sell them to Uber.
Right. And Uber is only half of this institutional moat. We also have to talk about the Saudi Public Investment Fund connection.
Oh, yeah. Their affiliate, our third investment company.
Yep. They just threw in another $550 million.
Just incredible amounts of capital.
It really is. And they're essentially doubling down on this existing 10-year, 100,000 vehicle purchase agreement.
So you have these two massive whales basically building a floor under the stock.
Right.
But then we have to address the giant elephant in the room.
The Q1 revenue miss.
Yeah, the illusion of the Q1 miss, really, because they pre-announced Q1 revenue at, I think, $280 to $284 million.
Which was a huge miss.
A massive miss from the $433.8 million Wall Street expected.
Yeah, looking at that headline, it looks like demand is completely falling off a cliff.
But it's not. It makes me think of like a sold-out restaurant, right?
Okay.
The dining room is packed, everyone has paid, the food is cooked, but the kitchen doors are physically jammed.
Ah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so demand isn't the problem at all. It's just a bottleneck in getting the product out the door.
And the data totally backs up that analogy. Look at the numbers. Lucid Group actually produced 5,500 EVs in the quarter.
Right, they built them.
But they only delivered 3,093?
Wait, why such a huge gap?
Because of a strict 29-day halt on the Gravity SUV deliveries. And it was all due to a supplier issue with the second-row seats.
Are you kidding? Just the seats?
Just the seats. And you can't deliver a car that is 99% finished, so the revenue recognition just freezes.
Wow.
But the good news is the issue is resolved. The kitchen doors are unjammed.
So all that missing revenue simply shifts into Q2.
Exactly. It didn't disappear. It just rolled over on the accounting calendar.
Okay, so that totally explains why the technical setup for the stock looks so utterly exhausted right now.
Yeah, the charts are wild.
The stock is extremely stretched. It's trading like 27% below its 20-day simple moving average.
Right.
And it's almost 40% below its 100-day. Plus, you've got the RSI sitting right at 30.13.
Which is textbook oversold territory.
Exactly. And then you see this volume explosion. We're talking 46.9 million shares traded.
Which is, what, almost 400% above average?
Yeah, 379% above average. Retail investors do not move 46 million shares in a day.
No, not a chance.
Yeah.
That signals pure capitulation by retail and massive accumulation by the institutions. The whales are scooping it up at a discount.
Okay, but looking at the flip side.
Right, because we have to talk about the bear case.
Yeah, because despite this massive institutional backing, the company is still fighting for its financial life. We have to give you the lowdown on the risks here.
The balance sheet is not pretty.
It's brutal. In the latest quarter, free cash flow was negative $1.24 billion. They are just burning cash like a furnace.
Yeah, and cash reserves plummeted to roughly $700 million before they got this recent capital raise.
Which brings us to the gross margins.
Oh man, the gross margins. They're sitting at a painful negative 105%. To simplify that for you, for every single dollar Lucid Group makes selling a car, it literally costs them more than $2 to build it.
See, this is where I have to push back on the bull case.
Go for it.
With margins this deeply negative, isn't the recent $300 million public stock offering just brutally diluting existing shareholders?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, you're printing new shares, rock bottom prices, just to feed a structural cash burn.
Yeah, it's incredibly punishing for the early investors, and the execution hurdles are a real problem.
Like the 29-day seat delay.
Exactly. That delay isn't just a quirky timing issue. It's actually a massive red flag for operational immaturity.
Right. It highlights the pains of trying to scale up mass manufacturing.
Building a prototype is one thing. Managing a global supply chain is a completely different beast.
But they did just bring in a new CEO, right? Silvio Napoli.
They did. And that is a huge signal. He was brought in specifically for his background in industrial cost discipline.
Not a visionary, an operator.
Exactly. He is there to fix these exact execution hurdles and try to extend their financial runway deep into 2027.
Okay, so we have these opposing forces colliding. On one side, massive institutional lifelines. On the other, brutal cash burn and negative margins. How does this play out in the immediate future?
Well, the major catalyst to watch is May 5th.
Circle that on your calendar.
Right. Q1 earnings report comes out after the bell. This is a golden opportunity for management.
To do what, exactly?
To explicitly clarify that the revenue miss was just a timing anomaly. If they can prove the supply chain is fixed, it could spark a massive short covering rally.
Especially given how oversold that RSI is right now.
Exactly. And Wall Street is already rapidly adjusting to this.
Yeah, we are seeing analysts recalibrate their price targets across the board, ranging from $10 up to $17 at the major firms.
And that $10 mark is critical. It's acting as a psychological resistance, a real line in the sand.
And we can't ignore the macro tailwinds right now either.
Yeah, the broader market has been incredibly strong.
April was a phenomenal month for stocks. The S&P 500 jumped over 10%. That's the best month we've seen since November 2020.
That kind of risk-on appetite really favors beaten-down growth stocks. Investors start looking for aggressive rebound momentum.
Yeah. But looking even further out, what's the long-term play?
You have to watch for the midsize EV platform launching in the second half of 2026.
Okay, why is that one so important?
Because that platform is the absolute linchpin for the Uber robotaxi fleet. If they can get that rolling efficiently, that's when they transition from a cash-burning manufacturer to a high-margin software operator.
Wow, so surviving until 2026 is the entire game.
Pretty much.
You know, there's a speculative wild card here that I keep thinking about.
Oh, what's that?
Well, given the depressed valuation and this massive unwavering support from the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund.
Who clearly have no intention of letting this company fail.
Exactly. The rumor mills are really starting to spin about Lucid Group potentially being taken private.
You know, that makes a lot of sense. The public markets are so fixated on quarterly earnings and short-term margins.
Right. They panic over a one-month seat delay.
But a sovereign wealth fund operates on a generational timeline. Taking it private would let them fix the manufacturing issues without the intense daily scrutiny.
Yeah, it's definitely something to think about.
For sure.
Well, it's time for the final lowdown. Keep a close eye on how this software-driven turnaround unfolds against these really intense margin pressures.
It's going to be a bumpy ride, but a fascinating one.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us on the Easy Money Show today. We'll see you next time.